Lost Art of Fishing Stories, written by Andrew Cox. Get your copy today. Go to Amazon and search The Lost Art of Fishing Stories. The Lost Art Project, Veteran Voices with Andrew Cox. Preserving history, one veteran story at a time. Marine Corps League and Till Valhalla Project Ambassador. Thanks for tuning in to the podcast that's given a voice to our veterans. The Lost Art Project, Veteran Voices with Andrew Cox. Hello, my friends, and welcome back to the Lost Art Project, the Veteran Voices. And today we're going to have one heck of a veteran voice. It's going to be a good one. But if you're enjoying these episodes, make sure you go to the website. That's thelostart.podbean.com. Go check us out. See what we're all about. There is a couple ways you can help support us. You can go in there and click on a one-time donation link. You can also become a patron. That's a monthly donation. Or heck, you could just go get you some cool merchandise. Just click on that merchandise tab. And if you have a business or you're trying to promote something, you can always advertise right here on the podcast. A big shout out to the Till Valhalla Project out there doing amazing things. If you don't know anything about them, and even if you do know something about them, go back and check them out. You can always find them at tillvalhallaproject.com. Are you a Marine veteran? Are you missing that bond you had on active duty? Then I have a place for you. Join the only congressionally chartered Marine Corps veteran service organization, the Marine Corps League. Get that brother and sisterhood back in your life. Become one of the fewer, the prouder, a Marine Corps League member. All right, we're back. I got this motivator here. This is David Hull. How you doing?
I'm doing good, sir. How are you?
Oh, man, I'm excited. I'm excited to hear your story. So this is going to be one heck of a day for me.
Well, it's no war stories, but there are a lot of different branches and a lot of fun.
Yeah, this will be good. It will encompass a lot of different things. It'll be awesome. So let's start at the beginning for you. Where did you grow up? What was that like? And then what drew you to military service?
Well, I grew up in Missouri and Kansas.
Okay.
Went to school in Kansas City, Kansas, but spent my summers with my grandfather up in Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
So I learned to work hard at a very young age.
Oh, yeah.
Started working for him at 8 years old at a quarter a day. And thought I was
nice.
7'7".
Very nice.
But I did a lot of also work constructions, also hay hauling, things of that nature.
Right.
And I watched the news a lot for what was going on during the Vietnam War.
Mm-hmm.
And believe it or not, that's what drew me towards the military.
Okay.
Seeing the brotherhood, seeing the suffering that they went through, but they were right there for each other. And that was something that I really wanted.
Yeah.
So
very nice. Now, what year was it that you ended up joining?
There's one funny story, and then once when I finally got in. Okay. I actually talked to a Marine recruiter my senior year of high school. And he convinced me that I was not big enough to be a Marine. So then I stood up, and he realized I stood about 7 inches taller than he was. And it was already said and done. He had already talked me out of it.
Yeah.
So I went to college, and at the end of my first year of college, I joined the Navy. That was back in 1978.
Got it.
And joined the Navy. The entire summer between college ending and me going in, I spent in the hayfields. I thought it was going to be a rough boot camp. But Navy boot camp's nothing like Marine Corps boot camp.
Right. Yeah.
So basically, I mean, for my final PFT, I took it 4 times, once for myself and then 3 more for 3 other gentlemen who were trying to pass it but couldn't.
Oh, wow.
So I ended up taking it 4 times and got
Hmm.
everybody passed.
Wow. That's awesome.
So
Now, now what did you take out of your boot camp experience? Like what was the good, what was the bad?
Navy boot camp was a joke to me, to be honest with you. I was
Okay.
expecting very physical, very
Hmm.
mental, and it was neither one.
Right.
There was nowhere close to it.
Hmm.
I was taxed more after I got in by the job that I had as far
Hmm.
as mentally, because I worked as an operations specialist, which
Oh,
is
okay.
dealing with radar.
Yeah.
And I did that for 4 years, all on Gator freighters. I was on board the USS Mobile, uh,
Hmm.
the old LKA, the ones that put everything over the sides.
Yeah.
Uh, and we had to learn early how to handle that equipment. Our radar serial numbers were like 001, 2, and 3.
Wow.
So, and this was in 1978, 79 time frame. And
Right.
we're seeing this, and it's like, okay, nope, this is an old ship.
Yeah. Holy cow.
But I spent about a year and a half on her. She went to reserve status, and I was transferred to the USS Cleveland to do
Okay.
the same job.
Okay. Now, when you, I mean, your schooling for that, where was that?
That was in Great Lakes. That
It
was
was.
the
Okay.
General Electronics and then radar school itself.
Okay.
And so I went through school there, was stationed out at San Diego for the USS Mobile
Hmm.
during the first Iranian crisis. I believe you're old enough to remember that one
Yeah.
when they took the hostages. I
Yep.
was actually in the middle of the Indian Ocean getting ready to put Marines on the beach.
No kidding. Wow.
No kidding. And when the helos crashed, the only thing we got were orders to turn 180 at flank speed. So
Wow.
we got the heck up out of there. But we'd already been awake for 2 days getting
Uh-huh.
ready for this. And
Huh.
then we got out of there and we got sent to Perth, Australia. So
Okay.
that was a nice plus. We spent a week
Yeah.
in Perth, Australia.
Yeah. Well, that I hear that's not a bad place to be. I hear they take care of you out there.
Oh, yes. Well, we were the first Marines and Navy since World War II that had pulled into Perth, Fremantle area.
No kidding. Wow.
So they took care of us real good. They had a Dial a Sailor, Dial a Marine program going on
Hmm.
where you could go out with a family or whoever wanted to call up and sponsor you for a day. You could go
Right.
with them and just go have some fun and see the scenery.
Wow. That's really cool. And you were yeah, a full week while you were there.
Yes.
Very
Yep.
nice. Now, did
Uh,
you have a family kind of adopt you out there for that or?
no, actually, I was trying to stay clear of it
Uh-huh.
because I didn't know what was going to happen. And a friend of mine who was also manning the phones the same time I was
Hmm.
got us in with 3 young ladies
Hmm.
that wanted to sponsor us. And
Okay.
so there was 4 of us and 3 young ladies, and we had a great time. I mean,
Yeah. Got
we
you got
went
to
to
go
the
see the sights
Outback.
with them.
What's that?
You got to go see all the sights and stuff while you're there with them.
We went to the Outback. We stopped at
Nice.
one pub, and the old boy or one of the guys there had just won a trifecta, so he bought everybody drinks and a meal.
Wow.
So, well, I think they said his trifecta was somewhere around 30 grand by the time it was all said and
Yeah.
done.
That's
So,
still that's a good chunk of change.
oh yeah, I wish I had it back then.
Yeah. Yeah. No kidding.
But
Wow.
no, I spent time there, then spent time on the Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
Went overseas twice in the
Okay.
Navy. Of course, doing 6 months cruises.
Right.
A lot of people don't consider it being out to sea, but when you spend, like when we went into the Indian Ocean, we spent 95 days before we saw land again.
Oh, wow. That's a
So
long time.
we were at the end of eating. Let's see here. Everything was water based, dehydrated and water based. It was
Okay.
dehydrated eggs, dehydrated milk.
Right.
We had lunchtime was, excuse the term, shit on a shingle.
Yeah.
And then dinner time was also shit on a shingle.
Oh,
So
no
you had
kidding.
that multiple times for about a month that we
Wow.
were out there, because that's all
Holy
we had
cow.
left.
Yeah. So you had to, once you got back to land or whatever, you got resupplied and all that good stuff.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
everybody got resupplied, and then a bunch of us were getting resupplied out in town. So,
I like it.
so
Wow. Now, those two deployments that you're talking about, was that on the same ship or was that two different ships?
two different ships.
Okay.
USS Mobile was back in 79 to 80 during the Iranian crisis.
Yeah.
And then 81 to 82 on board the USS Cleveland.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about your like being a radar tech there and what kind of your day-to-day interaction was, and then where were you on the ship?
Well, we were always behind the bridge.
Okay.
Because we were in what they called CIC, Combat Information Center.
Okay.
So we were always behind the bridge. We worked basically 7 hours on, 7 hours off, 5 hours on, 5 hours off.
Oh,
And
wow.
that's all we did while we were out to sea.
No
So
kidding.
if it wasn't your own group, you didn't have much interaction with anybody at that
Wow.
point. So on board the Mobile, we had 6 OSs, so we split it up 3 and 3. On the Cleveland, we had, I believe, 10, so it was 5 and 5.
Okay.
But that was the rotation for work when you were out to sea.
Holy
You
cow.
would be looking for other ships, aircraft, depending on which radar you were sitting on the Mobile. All we had was surface. On the Cleveland, we had both air and surface. So just
Oh,
depended
wow.
on what we were looking for.
Mm-hmm.
We had radio communications with other commands
Right.
that were in our Fibron, or a group of ships that we went out to sea with.
Right.
And then we'd go from there. But basically, it was just sitting in a dark room, looking at a screen, getting high
Wow.
stress.
Yeah. So there is quite a bit of stress in there that's involved with that.
Yes, because
Yeah.
you gotta do things right. If you got another ship coming at you, the bridge is expecting you to come up with a course to avoid them by at least 5,000 yards.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So you're trying to see what course they're on, look at what course you're on, and how you can avoid them.
Holy cow. Wow. I didn't realize that was all part of that, you know.
Yes, that
Hmm.
and navigation. If you pull into a port, you had quartermasters who did a lot of the navigation because they could do it by
Mm-hmm.
eyesight. We
Right.
would do it via radar
Oh, wow.
and keep us all in the same area.
Right. Huh.
So
So that's a pretty big part for the ship then, you know, what you're doing there with the
yes,
radars and stuff. Yeah.
and we knew exactly what the ship was going to do, when they were going to do it. We knew that we were headed to the Indian Ocean 4 weeks before anybody else on board the ship knew it.
No kidding. Wow.
So we had to lay out charts. We had to lay out everything to get us through the straits to get into the
Mm-hmm.
Indian Ocean, and
Right.
then start looking at, okay, once we get up there, we got to get into the waterway next to Iran and
Mm-hmm.
try and find a way of getting boats on the beach.
Right.
Back then, we didn't know that the Gulf up there was so big. By our charts, we had to pull in, turn, and then back out. We couldn't just turn around by the charts we did. So it was quite amazement when we actually saw it. It was like, dang, we didn't need to do all that.
Wow. That's pretty cool though.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed myself, whether I was in the Navy, whether I was in the Marine Corps, or even in the Army. I have enjoyed myself immensely all the way through it.
That's awesome. Now, what was the thinking when you went from Navy to the Marine Corps? Like, what was the transition for?
I had a sergeant major on board the USS Cleveland sit there and wrote me a letter. And the funny part about it was I was in charge of the mess decks because I was getting ready to leave the ship.
Okay.
So they put me down in charge of the mess decks, and I heard a back hatch getting ready to open. And when I heard it open, I yelled to get out of. Can't you read? There's a sign up says wet wax. And I yelled it loud.
Yeah.
And about 10 minutes later, all of a sudden, the sergeant major comes up from beneath us where it was safe to come in.
Yeah.
And he's like, who the heck yelled? And I said, sorry, Sergeant Major, that was me. And he's like, you're in the wrong branch.
Yeah.
See me before you leave. Like,
wow.
Aye, Sergeant Major. But he actually wrote me a letter to give to a recruiter to get me into the Marine Corps ASAP.
No kidding. Wow. That's really cool.
Yes.
Now, do you remember what sergeant major that was?
Unfortunately, no, I don't.
Yeah.
I wish I still had that letter, but the recruiter took the letter.
Yeah. Wow. That would have been cool to have a copy of that letter, though.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
I have a copy of a letter from our last sergeant major that I was served with in the Army, where he made a comment the fact that I was the epitome of an NCO.
Oh, nice.
So
you can't
get better praise from a sergeant major than that.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. So when you transferred, you went from the Navy. So how long were you out before you joined the Marine Corps?
I was out, let's see here, probably, let me say, 18 months.
Okay.
I had done work anywhere from going back to construction to building cement vaults for funerals to being a cook at a truck stop.
No kidding. Wow.
I have been what I consider a jack of many trades and a master of none.
Yeah. That's funny. And so now, did you know when you got out that you were going to go into the Marine Corps, or were you just like, hey, I'm going to get out, and then eventually you decided to go into the Marine Corps?
Well, when I got out, I was married and had a brand new little girl.
Okay.
And so I was going to do my best to try and take care of them on the outside.
Right.
But as one gentleman told me a long time ago, it's like everybody knows if they fit into the civilian world or they don't.
Right.
And I did not fit into the civilian world at all.
Yeah.
So after 18 months, I turned around and walked into a Marine recruiter station. And actually, I walked into an Air Force first and was refused to be enlisted because at that time, if you specialized in more than one area, they didn't want you.
Really?
You could only be specialized in one thing.
Wow.
So since I worked with radar, worked with boats, worked with helos, worked with aircraft, they're like, no, you know too much. You're not coming in.
That's strange.
I turned around and I went to the Marine Corps and walked in, and there was a young sergeant. I'll never forget him because I gave him my DD 214, which had an RER1 code, which meant get this guy back in the military.
Right.
And I handed him the letter from the sergeant major.
Mm-hmm.
And he turned around and started talking to me like I was a boot right off the street.
Oh, no.
I had no clue. I put up with that for about 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And I started going off on him. Well, the gunny of the station there came walking out going, what the heck? So I explained to him what I had given him, the whole 9 yards. And the gunny took it, looked at it, looked at me and said, you in my office. And he looked back at the sergeant and said, you, I will talk to later. And
I like it.
Walked into the office and basically he put me in to try and get sergeant, hoping for corporal, but knowing the fact I'd probably go in as a lance corporal. And he was upfront with it. And because the fact that, you know, even though I'd been an E5 in the Navy, it's not the same as the Marines.
Yeah.
So we turned around and I had to wait for that paperwork. And the process of waiting for that paperwork confirmed the idea of I'm not a civilian. I cannot be a civilian.
Yeah.
Because people I worked for, I found out only hired me because I was a veteran and they were getting a tax discount.
Right.
But when they heard I was going back into the military, I went down to 0 hours. Just
no kidding.
And so it was about 2 weeks after I had seen the recruiter that I was leaving for MCRD San Diego.
Wow.
And
that's a quick turnaround.
Yes. And I was glad to see it because all through boot camp, I was getting paid as a Lance Corporal. Wasn't getting paid as a private. I was getting Lance Corporal pay with the benefits of being married and a family.
Wow,
so
that's awesome.
All that.
Yeah.
And I went in and, of course, the first night you're always trying to figure out what the heck is going on or what you just signed up for.
Right.
And then this day that we met our drill instructors, senior drill instructor, Gunny Sergeant Graves, pulled me aside and he looked at me point blank and he goes, you've been an NCO before. So you're going to be my helper when we're not around. But if they mess up, you're going to be in the classroom with them.
Yeah.
So I had a blast during boot camp. Not very many people can say that, but I had a blast. The first time you go in and you see your barracks completely demolished, except for your stuff. It was left alone. You know, you go on we were going up to Pendleton. And I had injured my knee prior to going up. I was supposed to be on light duty. And I warned the house mouse that I would take him within an inch of his life if he mentioned the fact I was on light duty. So, of course, nobody said anything.
Yeah.
What I didn't know was the very next morning we had a 5-mile fun run, which included 3 miles on the beach.
Oh, no.
So, unfortunately, I went from guide on to nothing because of my knee. I couldn't keep up with the group with the accordion effect.
Yeah.
But I never stopped, but I couldn't keep up.
Yeah.
So I lost the guide on at that point, which I knew I was going to lose sooner or later anyway.
Right.
And as the senior said, it don't matter if you run the guide the entire time. You're not going to be the honor man because you're not going to make corporal out of boot camp.
Yeah, true. Yeah. So, I mean, at least they were up front and told you, you know?
Oh, yes. And I expected that. But so he took me back to the barracks, trashed me for falling out on the run the whole 9 yards.
Right.
Told me to get back with the unit, or, you know, we both went back to the unit. And I had other drill instructors from other platoons come up to me and tell me, don't worry about it. We know you're going to be back up there again.
No kidding. Wow.
Which I thought was strange, and from what I understood later on, that doesn't happen very often at all.
Right. Yeah.
But we went up Mount Mother, and I started all the way in the back, and started out. And before we hit that last tier going up,
yeah,
I had already caught up with the gunny and the guide, and the guide started to fall. So I grabbed the guide on and tried to help him, but just kept on going.
Yeah.
And our senior looked at me and he goes, I was wondering how long it's going to take you to get up here.
Wow.
Like, oh, man.
That's amazing.
But
so you actually finished out going on top of the hill with the guide on as the guide.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. So unfortunately for everybody else who didn't finish with their senior drill instructors, we're getting trashed.
Yeah.
Those of us that did manage, we were sent down to set up the range for the live fire for that night.
Okay.
And we were all sitting there going, man, this would be great if we got to shoot this stuff. Not thinking completely. We just thought it was going to be great. And we got to.
Yeah.
We got to fire all of it. And then we loaded it up in the 5-ton. And then it hit me. Wait a minute, guys. This is the Marines. We fired the stuff. Guess what? We're going to go ahead and clean it.
That's right.
So, but that was another first time for me was we went in and cleaned everything, and everything got a first time go, which that didn't make any sense either.
Yeah.
For a bunch of recruits cleaning M60s, M16s, all different kinds of weapons, and we get a first time go, that just don't usually work that way.
Yeah.
But so we're looking at the time, and it's like 11:30, 23:30.
Right.
And we're like, okay, by the time we get back out there, it's going to be 01. We get our tent half set up. We might get a couple hours sleep.
Right.
And no, they turned around and took us to a barracks. Let us crash out there. We got to take showers, the whole 9 yards. We ate a hot breakfast at the chow hall.
Wow.
And then they took us back. And as we got back, they were just starting to tear everything down.
Wow.
And our drill instructor that took us pre-warned us. He goes, if you guys say anything about this during boot camp, you will do push-ups until I'm tired. It's like,
well, did anybody say anything?
Oh, no. When they had that, or as long as until I get tired, you knew better because all they were going to do was sit and watch you.
Yeah, exactly.
So, wow. When I graduated boot camp, I walked up and I had to thank my senior because when I walked into boot camp, I was 6'4" and about 280.
Okay.
Luckily, back then, they didn't have the weight standards.
Yeah.
To get in. But when I left, I was still at 6'4", but I was down to 225.
Wow.
I had lost that much weight, being put in the classroom so much, running the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
So
wow.
You
had to get all new uniforms basically at the end then.
When they did the sizing for the dress uniforms, I had lost all the weight I was going to lose.
Oh, okay.
So I was good at that point because we didn't get sized for the dress or for our alphas or greens or anything like that until the final month of boot camp.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So you were already in shape, toned up, ready to go.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
The only person I felt sorry for is we had a guy who had spent 4 years in the Army, had made private first class in the Army out of 4 years.
Wow.
Joined the Marine Corps, and He was in my platoon, 4th platoon.
Mm-hmm.
And we fell out to do our final inspection. The night before, I had told everybody, lock them up or sleep with them, talking about their M16s.
Yeah.
He, from what I understood from one of the drill instructors, put his under his rack.
Oh, no.
So the drill instructors in the middle of the night went by, changed it out for a different M16 that happened to be loaded down with dirt, and also took his rifle card. So he couldn't prove that it wasn't his.
Right. Oh,
so
man.
We fell out for formation the next morning. I didn't have enough time to try and check anybody because they kept us running. And from what I understood, that was the plan, to keep me away from him.
Oh,
it was like,
okay.
And I didn't find all this out till later that night because I thought all day I was about to get burnt big time. But the sergeant major came in front of me. And of course, he was surprised because here I got 2 rows of ribbons, Lance Corporal chevron, and a hash mark on my arm.
Right.
And he's like, oh, man, Colonel, you got to see this. So the colonel came over, and I'm sitting there explaining all my different ribbons. And about that time, I hear the sergeant major pick on the one guy I was hoping he would miss.
Yeah.
He took him to the back to do a weapons inspection. And no more than he pulled the bolt back, dirt fell.
Oh, my God.
So sergeant major's yelling at him. There's at least 3 or 4 different drill instructors all yelling at him. And he's trying to figure out what happened to his rifle card so he could prove it wasn't his. They're just tearing him up.
Oh, man.
They were tearing him up from that point. Now, I'm one of the first people they inspect.
Yeah.
Being the 4th platoon leader. The colonel got through everybody, and we marched off, and they were still chewing that poor kid's backside.
Oh, my
God. We came back from getting orders and having lunch, and came back, and the only thing you could see that was left of him was an empty foot locker and a rack that the mattress had been folded up.
Wow.
Now, this is the start of week 13.
Yeah.
And I waited till that night because I figured I was going to get called to the classroom and trashed severely, really bad.
Yeah.
And waited till that night, pounded on the hatch for the drill instructor. He told me to come in and shut the door. And then he looked at me and said, sit down, and what's your problem? So I explained everything. He's like, no, you'll see him again tomorrow. Don't worry about it. We know the fact you were trying to teach him and to train him, and he ignored you. This is not on you. This is going to be on him.
Wow.
And the next morning, as we're going to chow, sure enough, we've got sleeves rolled up, boots bloused. We look like Marines. He's in with the receiving group.
Ooh.
They sent him all the way back to receiving.
Holy cow.
He gets trained one way or another.
That's rough.
I would hate to be him, to be honest. 13 weeks of that place and then have to go back through it again? No.
Yeah. That's just crazy. Well, I hope it stuck the second time.
I have no idea. I've never heard of him since.
Yeah. Wow.
I have no clue whether or not it stuck. I hope it did.
Yeah.
I hope he straightened up. But if he didn't, then again, back then, they could kick you out for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And not think twice about it.
Holy cow.
So
wow. So what year was it that you became a Marine?
That was in 1984.
84. Okay.
June 15th, I graduated 1984.
June 15, 84. All right. And you knew already what your job was going to be?
At that time, yes. I knew I was going to go into aviation electronics. eye level. So it was something that I thought about. It was like, I like electronics. I like math. I can do this.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went through all the classes there in Memphis.
Okay.
And was turned around and shipped out to Cherry Point, North Carolina.
Okay.
To join up with aircraft group out there.
Gotcha. How long was that training that you did in Missouri?
It was 18 months.
18 months. Wow.
You had some of it was on your own time, and then other classes where you had to go through the class. You couldn't
right.
It wasn't self-paced. It was instructor led.
That's a long time.
Well, yeah. I mean, there was like, in total, there was like 4 different classes you had to go through, 3 that were self-paced and 1 that was school taught.
Ah, I see. Okay. Wow.
So when you go through that many classes, yeah. It takes a little bit of time.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and then you went out to Cherry Point. What was that like for you going to Cherry Point?
I liked it. I mean, I've liked every duty station I've ever been on because I find things I can do.
Yeah.
Cherry Point, there was a lot of hunting and fishing. Well, shoot, I'm from Missouri. That's right up my alley.
Yeah.
I had a good group of guys to work with. And so I went from Lance Corporal to Sergeant. No, I take that back. I went from Lance Corporal to Corporal there at Cherry Point.
Okay.
And had a staff sergeant and a gunny sergeant that was close to my age. So we hung out a lot together since we were all right there.
Yeah.
It was better than trying to hang out with the Lance Corporals or Corporals, which were about 8 years younger.
Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty drastic age difference, though.
Yes.
Right. For where with your other peers is what I'm talking about.
But we had a good time out there. We had a gunnery sergeant that tried to ruin everything. He came in, and he used to be a grunt. Air wing and grunts are 2 different worlds in the Marine Corps.
Oh, yeah.
He wanted everybody with high and tights, spit shine boots, pressed uniforms, the whole 9 yards.
Right.
And I refused. And I told him the same. It's like, Gunny, I understand you're from the infantry. You're an 0311. This is air wing. We don't do things that way.
Right.
So he wrote me up, gave me, I don't know how many page 11s, but
no kidding. Wow.
Basically stopped me from getting promoted to sergeant by the way he was doing stuff.
No kidding. Holy cow.
The last thing that happened was he said the fact that he called me up. Me and another Marine were going to the rifle range for quals. And he called me up that night and told me the fact that as soon as you were qualified, report back to the unit, you're going to do a PFT.
Oh, jeez.
And I'm like, Gunny, you don't do things like that. Not here. You got to give us some time because we're up at dark 30 in the morning.
Yeah.
To get the weapons and then go all the way out to the range and then have to come back and clean them. No, that don't work. We're going to be worn out. Well, he made it in order. And I said, okay, be prepared because we probably won't pass. And neither one of us did.
Yeah.
We both failed on the run. The push-ups and sit-ups we had, the run just kicked our tail ends because of.
Well, I mean, you already wore out. It takes a lot out of you on the range.
Yes. And so he wrote me up one last time, and I ended up going to the AMO for the first step in NJP.
Okay.
And the first thing he did was bring out a logbook for the AMO to look at. And I said, excuse me, sir. And the AMO looked at me and said, what? That logbook's got pages torn out of it.
Oh, geez.
So he flipped through it, came to the first page that was torn out, and tossed it in the trash can. Looked at the gunny and said, "What else do you got?" And he's like, "Well, look at his mustache." AMO looked at it, said, "Is that the way you always have it?" "Yes, sir." "Gunny, do you know what the regulations are on mustaches?" Then he made the comment, "His boots are never high polished." "Gunny, we're on the flight line. That's a hazard."
Yeah.
"Well, his uniform's not pressed." "Gunny, it's against regulations. They use starch." And I mean, they just basically tore every argument he had down.
Yeah.
And the AMO finally looked at me and he goes, "Do you know what a good corporal will do?" And at this point, I was just happy to hear, everything else that was going on. So, of course, I said, "No, sir. What is that?" And he looked at me and he said, "A good corporal will volunteer for orders nobody else wants." Gotcha.
Okay.
The next day, they came down asking for people to go join up with VMA 214, Black Sheep Squadron, out of El Toro. And my hand was so quick in the air, it wasn't even funny. It's like, I remember what the AMO said. I'm gone. See ya.
Yeah. He was looking out for you, though.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
And when I went back to my squadron to get checked out, they opened up because back then you carried your personnel record.
Right.
And so they opened it up, saw the page 11 entries, and they looked at me and said, "Did you argue any of these?" "Nope." Rip. Every one of them came out and went into the trash can.
No kidding.
Yep.
Wow.
So I was like, okay, good.
That's awesome.
Reported to El Toro, California, VMA 214, and went up. I was supposed to check in with the CO and Sergeant Major, but they were both out at the time, so I was getting my training done. And as I was going back towards training, the CO came in, and he goes, "I know you." "Yes, sir. We worked together there at Cherry Point." "Come with me." So we walked into the training room, and he's like, "Give this man a waiver to 235 and have it on my desk to be signed."
Huh.
Like, okay. So I had a weight waiver to 235 at that point, automatic.
Wow.
They didn't even have time to tape me or weigh me or anything else. It was just
point.
And then
holy cow.
So he has actually been the AMO at Cherry Point.
Oh, okay.
So now then he was the CO of 214.
Oh, right on. Yeah.
So very he knew me well. And we turned around and within a week after I got there, I was promoted to sergeant.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Because all the page 11 entries were gone. So there was no reason not to.
Absolutely.
So
yeah.
I was promoted to sergeant. So I went overseas as a I-level sergeant, working both I-level and O-level in all reality while we were overseas.
Wow. Okay.
And we had the Iwakuni Sergeant Major actually gave myself and one other sergeant who he always gave a not observed on your fit rep at the end of your tour. We were the first ones he actually gave good marks to across the board. Because we straightened out his library. We straightened out we found an aircraft and another piece of gear, aircraft engine and another piece of gear that didn't work together, even though they said it was supposed to be compatible. Yeah, it wasn't.
Oh, geez.
So we found that out and then made our recommendations on top of that.
Yeah.
So we did a lot during that 6-month stint that we were in Iwakuni, and that's why we we set ourselves apart because he took the staff NCO that was in charge of my shop and sent him away to supply.
Wow.
And he took the other staff NCO out of the electronics group and sent them away. Wow. So basically, he turned it over to E5s to run the shops.
Wow. And you'd be, I always found that your sergeants, your NCOs, when they're running it, it seems to run pretty dang good,
Oh, we had no issues. We kept all planes in the air. When we got there, originally, I was working both I level and O level. And we had one flight ready aircraft and 15 that were grounded.
Holy cow.
And that's what we inherited. By the time we left, we had 15 combat ready aircraft and one hangar queen that could get up and fly if necessary.
Wow.
So we did a complete change. And that was with 214 meeting all the flight stuff that they needed to do.
No kidding.
So, yeah, we got a unit citation out of that. We got a whole bunch of recognition as far as
I mean, that's huge to be able to turn it around. I mean, I would say that's the furthest way to turn it around right there. I mean, you completely switched the stats.
Yes. And we had fun doing it.
Yeah.
We had and as outspoken as I am now, I was probably worse when I was in the Marine Corps. We had a civilian. We had a civilian that was supposed to be working on the I-level electronics for the A4. And they woke me up at 3 o'clock in the morning because they kept getting an intermittent trouble with a heads-up display unit.
Okay.
So I went down and I got into the aircraft, started pulling it out, and I'm like, okay, who's the idiot that put this in here? And he looked at me and he goes, what are you talking about? And I said, this little paper clip on a 15,000 volt line. There's your intermediate problem. I looked at the O-level sergeant and said, go get a new cable, run it, and then hook it up.
Oh, jeez.
But this is one of those guys that are getting paid big bucks.
Yeah.
And he couldn't find a little paper clip that was stuck inside a doggone coax.
Wow.
To make the connection. So
that's pretty bad, though.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Both on the technician who did it and on the civilian who couldn't find it.
Right. Man.
And, we had at one time, we were doing aerial combats in the Philippines with the Air Force. I'll never forget that fun day. But our XO did such a hard turn, he rippled the wings on his A4. He got away from the Air Force pilot. In fact, by the roll of dice, they knocked him down instead of our XO. But when he came in, his wings were so rippled that he, in all reality, unless you get lucky, you ain't flying again for a while.
Yeah.
And we heard about it before he got back. And myself and the O-level sergeant went down to supply, asked them if they had any. And, of course, they were like, nope, we ain't got none. So we leave. And back then, the supply area was fenced. But on the outside of the fence was 2 crates marked A4 wings.
Yeah.
So we looked at that. We couldn't tell whether they were good or bad. Figured we'd wait till that night to find out.
Yeah.
So I told the O-level, you guys start taking the wings off. We'll come back up here with a forklift, get these, and then we'll find out what's going on.
Yeah.
Turned around. They got the wings off. We showed up with the others. Turned out to be good wings.
Oh, nice.
So we put them on our XOs and then recrated the bad wings and took them back to supply.
Very nice.
So it's like I was constantly asked, by master gunnery sergeants or sergeant majors. Do I want to know what you're doing? No, sir. You need to leave. Okay. And away they'd go.
Yeah.
They would not stick around.
Yeah, sometimes it's better not to know,
Yes.
Oh, man.
But they knew enough the fact that I was going to do what the job needed. So
right.
That's all they needed to know.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Oh, man. So that deployment was 6 months?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. When
Very
we came
nice.
back, 214 went to the reserves out of Phoenix.
Okay.
And I got sent to Lemoore, California for
Lemoore?
Yes.
Where's that?
Lemoore, California, just south of Fresno.
Oh, okay.
Out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's about as bad as 29 Palms, close to it.
Oh, really?
But I was sent out there to be an instructor for the avionics, the new hybrid test station, as they called it.
Okay.
So I was supposed to instruct on how to get it set up, how to run tests with it, the whole 9 yards.
Right.
And this thing was huge. To me, it was no better than a big anchor, but they told me that's what they're going to use. So you got to learn it and teach it, go from there.
Yeah.
So I taught that. I taught an officer's course on familiarization on the F-18. I taught, helped write and teach a class on enhanced comprehensive, ECAMS, enhanced comprehensive asset management. It was the pilot's tattletale. It fit in a lockbox underneath their seat.
Okay.
So when they ejected, it went with them. And it would tell the person downloading everything what was going on every 1/8 of a second.
Wow.
Across that aircraft.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Wow.
We had a blast. It was the pilot's worst enemy.
Yeah.
Complain something else happened. Here was living proof of, no, you messed up, Gus.
Oh, man.
So I taught all those. And then when Desert Storm kicked off, every one of the Marines that were there, we all put in to go to the Fleet Marine Force. We wanted to get out. We couldn't see sending the kids that we were teaching without us going. And we were all properly denied and told to pack a 24-hour bag, but they didn't have anybody available to replace us.
Okay.
So, of course, Desert Storm didn't last very long.
Right.
So it was like, okay, it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then when I left Lemoore, I went back to Cherry Point. And that's in 92, when they were doing all the cutbacks on everybody. I talked to a recruiter or a career counselor who unfortunately didn't know his job. Because he told me I was going to reach high year tenure in a year and be forced out. Well, what he'd done is he had added all my time, both Navy and Marine together, and he should have been only looking at the Marine Corps time.
Right.
So I took their out because I was thinking I was going to get kicked out anyway.
Right.
Took their out, left, started working for a communications company, just doing installs, working with the telephone company, but basically doing installs, things of that nature, building some of their telecommunication stuff. And
now, where was this at? Was it back
this
in
California? This was in North Carolina still.
Okay.
I just went north into Winston-Salem and
Mm-hmm.
said, I'll stop here, and because they said they had work for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up doing that job and then got married while I was there,
Okay.
and decided to apply with Southwestern Bell to get on the inside, an inside job or something that paid better.
Yeah.
So they set up all the tests for me in one day. I had to take all 3 tests in one day.
Okay.
If I had failed any of them, I would have been disqualified from any of the jobs.
Wow. Okay.
So put everything on the line one day. It's like, okay, that's the best I can do. That's the best I'm going to do. So we went out there. I took all the tests, left, did not have a clue as to, I knew the fact I had passed them, had no clue as to whether or not I was going to get hired. A lot of the guys that I had worked with back in North Carolina, because I was still doing that job since I didn't have another one, they were giving me a hard time about whether, teasing me, making false phone calls that I was getting hired, the whole 9 yards.
Oh, geez.
So when I actually got the phone call from Southwestern Bell wanting me to come out to go to work, I was taking it as somebody else is joking me.
Oh, no.
And they were like, wait, are you sure you don't want this job? I'm like, oh, time out. I thought you were somebody else giving me a hard time. They've been doing this for the last 2 weeks. Like, no, this is actually Southwestern Bell. We want you to come to work out here in St. Louis.
Okay.
Gotcha. I'll be there.
Nice.
So it was just one of those, holy mackerel. But I went to St. Louis, went to work for them. Southwestern Bell. Then I ended up going down to Fort Worth and working there.
And that was with the same company?
Bell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back then, Southwestern Bell covered Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, and Arkansas.
Okay.
It's not like it is now where, I don't know, I guess AT&T covers everybody now.
Yeah.
But when I went down to Fort Worth, I was actually working in a what they call a competitive local exchange carrier, a CLEC office. Okay. So they would place the orders, and we would turn around and put the service in where they needed it. And from there, we just kind of keep growing from there.
Right.
And then the great CEO of Southwestern Bell walked in and sold 1 million shares of stock overnight.
Wow.
And the stock went from $70-some a share down to $15 overnight.
Holy cow.
So they started doing cutbacks or layoffs. Yeah. Since I was one of the newer managers, I knew what was coming. So I just said, adios. I ain't going to stick around for you to fire me. I'll take the severance package and I'll just go.
Right.
And we did that, and then everything was good. I was going through, and at one point I was a school teacher there in North Carolina because we ended up back out there.
Okay.
I was a
now, what were you teaching? What were you teaching when you were a school teacher?
I was a substitute teacher that taught anything from kindergarten up to 8th grade.
Oh, wow. Okay.
On any given day, and that was including all subjects.
Wow.
And it got to the point where the kids, and this was funny, to me it was, the kids would actually see me come in and want to know what classroom I was going to be in.
They got excited to see you.
I was.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But, so I did that for a while. I did truck driving for a while.
Okay.
Drove for Warner.
Oh.
Yep. And did that for a while till they cut me down on miles that it wasn't even funny. I think one week I drove a whole, and I'm talking a 7-day time frame, I drove maybe 100 miles.
No kidding.
You can't make money driving 100 miles in a tractor trailer. So,
holy man, that's pretty wild. Because I mean, what would you say the average is as far as mileage goes for driving a truck like that?
For driving a truck, you hope to get at least, let's see here, usually you are on the road. Back then, it was 10 hours on the road.
Okay.
So if you're going 70 miles an hour, other than stopping for food or gas, you're going to come close to 600-700 miles.
Yeah. Wow.
Where in 1 week I got 100. And I'm like, wrong answer.
Yeah.
I dropped the truck in one of their yards, and they're like, no, you got to bring it down here. No, this is your yard. I'm dropping it here. And shortly thereafter, I had went into the Army.
Okay.
So I walked in and was going to do reserves first just to see if I could make it. By then, I'm in my 40s.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't even know if I can handle this or not.
Now you did how many years total have you been on active duty at that point?
At that point, I was, let's see here. I had been on active duty 14 years.
Okay.
Between the Navy and the Marine Corps.
Right.
So in 2005, I went to the Army and went to the reserves, had to retake all the tests and everything else. And my reserve recruiter asked me if I cheated. And I'm like, what are you talking about? These things are so simple. It's not even funny. And he's like, you finished in an hour and a half and you missed one question. I'm like, trust me, I didn't cheat. These things are too simple. So I ended up going to the reserves to a Mike 88 truck driving because that's what I had everything else in. My latest graduation certificate said I was a truck driver.
Right.
So I did that. We went to the rifle range, and I'm still thinking Marine Corps wise. I'm not thinking Army. I'm not thinking anything else. I'm thinking Marine Corps. So we go for our 2 weeks. And in the first week, we had rifle quals. We had different things like that. And we go up to do rifle qual, and I am one of 5 out of the entire unit that qualified. So I turned around like, this ain't going to work. So I pulled all the E4 and below, pulled them all down and said, okay, this is what we're doing. And I taught them the Marine Corps way of shooting.
Yeah.
And even broke out a few dimes just when they thought they were cocky.
Yeah.
So, hey, let me see. And the next day we went back to the range, and every one of them but one qualified expert or sharpshooter.
No kidding. Wow.
So I taught them how to sling their weapon. I taught them everything from ground up.
Yeah.
And we went on a PT run or just a run. And I was just so amazed at nobody trying to stick back with people that were falling back.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
They just leave them. And I'm like, no, this ain't what we do. This ain't what I do. So I fell back and picked up all the stragglers, and we kept a pace everybody could keep, and we finished the run.
Yeah.
And I looked at our sergeant major, and I'm like, why am I the one doing this when I'm a Lance Corporal and you got staff NCOs that didn't do it?
Yeah.
Oh, we just don't do it down here. Whatever.
Huh.
But
wow.
I turned around. I went overseas, went to Talil, Iraq, as a reserve.
That was with the reserve unit?
Yeah. No, the unit stayed back. I went by myself.
Gotcha.
And in the process of getting to Talil, I ran into the first sergeant, and he looked at me and goes, okay, so what do you want to do? I know the fact you're a truck driver, but what do you want to do? And I said, First Sergeant, that's not up to me. That's up to you. I'll do what you say.
Yeah.
So he put me in charge of the receiving yard where all the trucks come in first. And then we divvy all the stuff up and put it on trailers for them to take out to all the different units.
Right.
And within 3 days, I had taken over the yard. I had a staff sergeant, a sergeant, a few Lance corporals, and a couple of privates, and they were all working for me.
Wow.
They were following.
What was your rank? What was your rank at that time?
Lance corporal.
No kidding. Okay.
I was an E4. So I was just that one that knew how to do the stuff. And these guys were reservists, but they had no clue how to take care of a trailer, load a trailer, strap it down. They didn't know nothing. And that was from an E6 down. Nobody knew anything.
Wow.
So
that's wild.
The first sergeant walked over and he's like, I hear you run this yard. That's right, First Sergeant. You need something, you just let me know. We'll make sure you get it. And that's what he did. He laughed. It's like, yeah, no, we ain't playing this game. So I did that. And then while we were there, we had a group come back to drop their trailers off in the middle of the night, which is normal. But nobody was down there at the onward movement yard for them to put their trailers away.
Right.
So I looked at the duty and I said, look, I'm up. I'll get down there. I'll open it up, get their paperwork. We'll be good. So I did that in the middle of the night out of nowhere, just automatically did it. And I got placed on, I got told the fact that 2 days later I was going to go to the sergeant board to pick up my sergeant. And I'm like, great. What do you need from me? What do I need to do? So I got all the paperwork ready really fast. And I was like, okay, so when do I leave? The first sergeant looked at me and said, you don't leave. You stay here. I'm taking your stuff. I'm like, okay. I don't know how this works, but okay.
Yeah, that's strange.
But he came back and announced the fact that I was to be promoted the 1st of August to sergeant. And on that day, I was going to be moved down to the onward movement yard as the NCOIC.
Wow.
Okay.
That's awesome.
So like I said, I have yet to find anything anywhere that I haven't had fun with.
Yeah.
Whether it be hard work or whatever. I had a battalion commander while we were there that brought a cot to my NCOIC that was over both the receiving and the onward movement yard. She brought a cot to him and told him to make sure that I got it, because it seems like anytime she was down there or up in the receiving yard, I was always there. Didn't matter the time.
Yeah.
And she was worried the fact I wasn't getting enough sleep.
So they said, set up a cot for you there.
Yeah. So basically, and then I turned around. We had it down there at the onward movement yard, but then I had my soldiers sleeping on it more than I did.
Oh, really?
I ain't sleeping on that thing. Number
Oh
one,
man.
it's too short, and number two, it's too hard for me.
Yeah.
So, but that was the way she did things. And if she saw me walking, she would pull over and stop and give me a ride to where I was headed for.
Oh, that's nice. That's
So
awesome. Well, that
that
shows that you definitely made an impression, you know?
yes, I had when I left overseas, my wife was having seizures real bad.
Okay.
And I told our commander, all I need to do is get home for 2 weeks, get things situated, and I'll come back. And they looked at me point blank and they said, you've worked harder in the 6 months you've been here than this whole doggone company has worked. So, no, you're going home and don't come back.
Wow. No kidding.
So, when you have that kind of respect, that's just, amazing to me.
Wow.
I came back from overseas and decided I would go on active duty, which ended up going down to Fort Gordon for training.
Okay.
And here I was at 88 Mike, right? I go into the MEPS to get, told what I'm going to be and, when I'm leaving and all the rest of that.
Right.
And I go into MEPS and they're like, well, what do you want to do? And I said, I want to be at 88 Mike. I'm already doing the job. No, you can't do that. And I'm like, you don't need sergeants as 88 Mike? No, you just can't. We do, but no, you can't do it. And I'm like, what's available? And the first thing out of their mouth, and yes, it's how I smart aleck was, they said intelligence. And I'm like, no, I can't work for contradictory terms. I'm sorry. Everybody around me cracked up laughing except for the person on the phone. It's like, military intelligence? No, that's contradictory terms. No, we ain't playing that game. So I ended up going into communications, which I had to go down to Fort Gordon to be trained.
Okay.
And at one point, we were supposed to fall out to do hand-to-hand combat. Well, the Army today's world, hand-to-hand combat, level 1 is you're on your knees.
Right.
I don't do on my knees. That's like, are you nuts? And I had a staff sergeant look at me because I wouldn't join in. And he's like, so where'd you learn how to do hand-to-hand? And I said, in the Marine Corps. He's like, never mind. Just go about your business.
It's very nice.
It's like, well, we ain't playing that game. I ain't having a Marine hurt somebody out here.
Yeah.
And I had another staff sergeant that kept bugging me because he thought he was so much better. And everybody was trying to explain to him, leave the old man alone.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't do it. And then finally I took off my glasses and I said, okay, let's go. And he came at me, and the next thing he knew, he was on the floor. I was on top of him with my thumb in the middle of his throat, whispering in his ear, you got 3 choices. You can go to sleep, you can tap, or you can die. And he's like, he taps out, and everybody's looking at him going, we told you to leave that old man alone. But it took all of about 5 seconds to put him on the ground.
Wow.
And so, and it's just one of those things from what you learn from the past and everything else, not just what the Marine Corps. I had a gunny when I was on board the Gator freighters that taught me how to do a lot of things. I just learned from anywhere and everywhere that I could.
Right.
And
that's awesome.
But I went from Fort Gordon and I ended up going to Kansas.
Okay.
And I got there and was checking in. I checked in at the battalion And then I went to go check in at the company, and all of a sudden I heard battalion wanted me back. So I didn't even get checked into the company. So I turned around and went back to battalion, and they said, "This is where you're going to work. You're not working at the company level." So
wow. Okay.
Okay, fine. Be that way. So I ended up doing that. And then 3 years later was transferred out to North Carolina, Fort Bragg.
Okay. Yeah.
And was in the process of checking in. Again, there you had to check in with Corps, then your brigade, division, and then you get to the company.
Right.
I got to brigade, and before I could get down the street, they were calling me back. Or not brigade. Yeah, I'm sorry. I got down from brigade. They were calling me back, telling me the fact that Corps wanted to see me again.
Oh, wow.
So I ended up working at Corps level, G6, for 2.5 years.
Wow.
And was supposed to go overseas with them at one point, and then got canceled out of it.
Okay. Now, with the working at Corps, what rank were you at that point? Were you still a sergeant or staff sergeant?
I was a staff sergeant at that point.
Staff sergeant. Okay.
Yeah, my staff sergeant board was just as funny as my sergeant board.
Okay.
Because when I went in for the staff sergeant board, I was waiting to hear questions and, do all this. Sergeant major, which happened to be female, and we got along great together. She loved my work ethic. I reported to the center in front of her, reported. She gave me the order to left face, forward march. And she marched me into the wall. And I just kept marching, but I couldn't go any farther.
Yeah.
Finally told me to halt, gave me an about face, and then again forward march. So I marched all the way across the room again into the other side of the room, into the wall. And I'm still marching, but I'm at the wall. And she's like, "Center yourself on the board." "Yes, ma'am." Or "Yes, Sergeant Major." Turned around, centered myself on the board. She looked around, goes, "Anybody else got any questions?" "I didn't think so. You're dismissed."
Now that's good.
That was the way things went for boards for me. It was like, this is not the way this is supposed to work, guys. I know better. But she was the same sergeant major. We had a death during the holidays. She called for everybody that was there, all the NCOs that were there, to come into the conference room so she could talk to everybody. I was running late because I had some other stuff I had to get done by order. I had to get it done. So I walk in like 3 minutes late and walk in a room, and she looked at me and goes, "Oh, Sergeant, you're running late." Without thinking, I just said, "Yes, ma'am." Sergeant First Class jumped up and was getting ready to get into my stuff.
Yeah.
Calling her a ma'am. And she told him to sit down, informed him that I was from a different era, and I meant it as a compliment, not as an insult. And I'm like,
oh man, that's wild. Now at this point, how old were you? Because you're still in your 40s?
Late 40s, probably around 48, 49.
Okay. Gotcha.
I went to Cherry Point, was part of Corps there, ran the IA, ran communications, all different kinds of stuff. And then when I left Fort Bragg, I had a sergeant major, for some reason, didn't like me. All the other sergeant majors seemed to like me but one.
Okay.
And he's like, "You're headed to Oklahoma to a real unit. You ain't going to make it. You're going to get kicked out." And I'm like, "All right, Sergeant Major, whatever. I'm out the door."
Yeah.
So I turned around and come down here, and the same stuff still happened. I checked into brigade. and started to go to the company and called back to brigade.
Yeah.
So I ended up working brigade for the last, year and a half that I had before I retired, or 2 years before I retired. I was working back at brigade, running their video teleconferences, doing all kinds of stuff, just working hard.
Yeah.
And I got chewed out once and this was funny. To me, it was funny. To the 3 sergeant first classes, it wasn't funny. Because we had a video conference with the colonel that was supposed to go down.
Yeah.
They messed up and couldn't get it up.
Mm-hmm.
So Sergeant Major chewed on all of them, to include my NCOIC, which was one of the 3.
Oh, no.
And informed them the fact that I better report to the Sergeant Major as soon as I get back. So I get back, and he's chewing me out as a staff sergeant for 3 sergeant first classes, not knowing what to do.
Oh, no.
And I had to write a paper, a private type paper. You remember the old, let's privatize this?
Yeah. Yeah.
I had to write a paper on how to set up the VTC at an E1 level. And so I gave that to the sergeant major, and he's like, did you have the sergeant first classes look over this? No, Sergeant Major, I figured that would be something that you would let them know instead of me. And he's like, not a problem. So he called all 3 of them down while I was still standing there.
Oh, no.
Handed them the paper and said, learn this and get as good as a staff sergeant.
Wow.
I'm like, oh, man.
But at least you you made an impression there as well. Sergeant Major knew your stuff. So,
like I said, he was the one that wrote the letter that said I was the epitome of an NCO.
Yeah,
he knew the fact that he could tell me something to do, and he didn't have to check on it again. It would get done.
Right. Yeah.
And so that was something that I treasured big time. Because you don't get a sergeant major to say something like that to you very often.
Absolutely, yeah.
But
wow. And so you did 2 years there in Oklahoma, and then retired?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And then how many years total did you put in?
22 and a half years.
22 and a half. Okay.
It spanned over 5 different decades.
Yeah. That's pretty awesome. I mean, not everybody can say that,
No. And not everybody, our sergeant major, but just before he left for Colorado, had a birthday. And I didn't realize it was his birthday. So I knocked on his door and I was like, Sergeant Major, I didn't know it was your birthday. I said, how old are you now? And he's like, 50. And without thinking, the first thing out of my mouth was, welcome to my age group. And he just looked at me and goes, it's my birthday. I'll let you get by with it. Get out of my office.
Very nice.
Because by then I was 54 at the time.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. My NCOIC, Sergeant First Class, Chris Hooten, the first time I met him, he found out that I had been a Marine, or that I was a Marine as well as the Army. So he started running his mouth about the Marine Corps. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to put up with this anymore. I'm going to let him run, and then I'm going to shut him down.
Yeah.
So it's no more than he stopped to take a break from talking. I looked at him, I said, Sergeant, you need to respect your elders. And he just looked at me. And I turned around and walked away. Because at the time, I was 7 years older than him. 7, 8 years
old. My God, that is awesome.
So we went down and we became really good friends. In fact, we still talk to this day.
Very nice.
And we went down to his dad's house one morning. His dad had a vehicle he wanted to sell.
Mm-hmm.
And it would sell better up here in Oklahoma than it would down there where he was at.
Mm-hmm.
And so his mom looked at him, and I was out of coffee. He was getting up to get coffee. And she just looked at him and said, "Why don't you get your friend a cup of coffee?" And he's like, "His legs ain't broke. He can get up." And I went, "Who? Respect your elders." His dad, which was a retired sergeant major, started laughing. His mom got a big grin on her face, and he just took my cup and went and got coffee.
That's awesome.
So we had a good time.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's not been a post that I haven't been on that I haven't enjoyed. The people, the brotherhood. It's always been something that has clicked with me.
Yeah.
And
that comes down to it. This is just my opinion. That comes down to personality. If you have a positive outlook, a positive, just demeanor in general, typically speaking, you're not going to have issues wherever you go.
And I will agree with that. To me, it's looking for the sunshine.
Yeah.
If you're only looking for the gloom every time you transfer, that's all you're going to find. But if you look for the sunshine, you're going to find it.
Yeah. It's a good way of looking at it and a good way of saying it. I like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
and then once you retired, now what did you end up doing?
Well, the interesting part about being retired is I went on post and went through their job market, applied for about 6 or 7 different jobs. One to include driving trucks on the post, just point A to point B, driving trucks. And I'm like, that's got to be a shoe-in. I was an 88 Mike. I was a master driver. That's got to be a shoe-in.
Yeah.
And I heard from all the other jobs and then finally heard from the truck driving, and it said I didn't have enough education.
Really?
So that was the last day I looked for work. I'm like, I think I'm going to enjoy my retirement.
Nice. Yeah.
And just kick back and draw social disability from Social Security, have my VA disability. I ain't doing no more. Forget it. I got my retirement pay. I'm good. So at that point, that's what I did. Once they told me I didn't have enough education.
Yeah. I don't blame you.
Drive a truck, and I was an 88 Mike. It's like,
I would think that qualifies you right there to be able to do that job. But,
Well, the fun part about it is I had in the military licensed for more things than what they even had on this post.
Oh, wow.
It's like, did you need to know how to drive a Calamar? Got it. Got the license.
Yeah. Oh, geez.
Didn't matter what it was. I could drive it.
Yeah.
It was
that's awesome.
You don't have, and I'm looking at him going, what do you mean not enough education? And one of the guys that I had worked with at 214 made the comment. He had applied for a job that he had been doing for the last 10 years at brigade level. He was a civilian, but he had been doing it at brigade level. Applied to go to the new brigade that was coming in, and they turned him down, and he asked why. And they made the comment, if you would have had a degree, even in basket weaving, we'd have hired you. But without a degree, it ain't happening.
That's messed up. I don't know.
I was like, are you kidding me? But from what I understand, that's the way it goes on post now. If you don't have a degree, they won't talk to you.
That's unfortunate because there's a lot of people out there that don't have degrees that are way more qualified and way better at doing the job.
I remember we used to have when I was in the Marine Corps, you get these officers that are the pilots, and they want to walk around high and mighty. And every now and then I'd catch one that was trying to be all high and mighty. And it's like, sir, remember one thing. It takes your college degree to fly that thing, but my high school diploma fixes it. So you need to be more careful.
Yeah.
And
that's like, a good point.
High school diploma? Yes, sir. That's all it takes for me. You have to have a college degree. I just have to have a high school diploma. And so I have done that to a few officers. I've had officers that chew out some of my soldiers or Marines because they didn't salute them back. Now, unfortunately, the shoulder or the soldier or the Marine had a broken hand.
And oh, jeez.
Yeah. He had stuff in his other hand. There was no way he was going to salute.
Yeah.
And an officer chew him out because he didn't salute. We lined up, and we did this more than once. In fact, in all three branches, I've done this. Hauled people out to the street, wait for that officer to come out and be stationed just so far apart to where he had to hold it or salute, drop it, salute, drop it, salute, drop it. And I would be the last one on the end, and I'd be like, sir, next time you want to chew out one of my men that's got a broken arm and his other arm's got full, you might want to think twice about that. You get some of these guys that are crazy. Now, I've worked with a lot of good officers. Don't misunderstand. Yeah. I've worked with a lot of good officers. I've worked with a lot of good NCOs. Mm-hmm. Also worked with bad ones on both sides.
Yeah.
But you got to keep on working with them until they leave or you leave. Mm-hmm. So,
very true. Very true.
No, I have been retired since 2015. I joined the Marine Corps League originally in 2014 and felt out of place. Mm-hmm. Because the fact when I joined up with Boomer Detachment down here, I would say 90 to 95% of them are all Vietnam veterans.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So here I am, Cold War veteran. Mm-hmm. It's hard to relate the two together.
Yeah.
So I walked away until I retired.
Yeah.
Once I was officially retired, I was like, I got to figure out a way of working with them. Mm-hmm. So I went back and joined the league at that point in 2015 and have been going strong ever since.
Yeah. Yeah, you have. Yeah. And now what all things have you, like what places, that's not what I'm trying to say. What billets? I don't know how to say it.
You're fine. When I first started out, I was a junior vice commandant for a year for Boomer. Then ended up being a senior vice for Boomer for 2 years. Mm-hmm. And also the state judge advocate.
Okay.
Then I ended up being the commandant for Boomer Detachment for 2 years.
Okay.
I was still the state judge advocate at that point. Then I ended up going to, before I ended up not being the commandant, mm-hmm. I got senior vice state commandant.
Okay.
And then served there for a year. And now then I am working on my second year as the commandant for the state of Oklahoma.
Wow. And that's a 2-year, each one of those is 2 years?
Well, you have to be voted in every year.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
We try and keep it at 2 years because the fact that if you go longer than that, you can burn yourself out.
Yeah.
But there is no timetable. It's like with us, our state, you can run as many times as you feel like you can do it. And if elected, you can keep right on going.
Very nice.
John Henry McCuskey out of Osage was the state commandant for 7 years.
Oh, wow.
Till he stepped down.
Dang. That's pretty wild.
And everybody enjoyed what he did.
Yeah.
The Lost Art of Fishing Stories,
Written by Andrew Cox. Get your copy today. Go to Amazon and search The Lost Art of Fishing Stories. The Lost Art Project, Veteran Voices with Andrew Cox. Preserving history, one veteran story at a time. Marine Corps League and Till Valhalla Project Ambassador. Thanks for tuning in to the podcast that's given a voice to our veterans. The Lost Art Project, Veteran Voices with Andrew Cox. I don't know why I did that, and I couldn't figure out how to stop it, so I apologize.
Oh, no, you're fine. You're fine.
I was sitting here trying to figure it out, and I'm like, I got nothing. I don't know how to stop it.
Just let it go. It's all right.
Yeah.
Now, when I got back into the Marine Corps League, I decided to open us up and talk to the guys on post, the Mardet, which they had some communications with, but it wasn't anything major.
Right.
So I went over there and I started talking to their first sergeant, their sergeant major, the colonel, and have had a good reputation with them ever since. We were allowed to, when they do their Devil Dog run, we sponsored it for 2 years out in town.
Oh, wow.
So when the MWR decided to give them a hard time about it, they just shut the door and we ended up sponsoring it out in town and getting people behind it. So we had a lot of big steps. A lot of people know exactly who we are, what I do, what I say. Yeah, I give them all a hard time. We had a gunny sergeant that just left for Pendleton. And from the get-go, we were constantly at each other.
Yeah.
We did a state or a department conference here in Lawton and got them to host things on post so that the young Marines could meet some of these older guys.
Yeah.
And we started off with him cooking hot dogs, and that's all it took. I was, he always likes to handle all the meat. I don't understand that. So we started chirping back at each other, back and forth. That Saturday night, the colonel was supposed to be there as our guest speaker. He didn't show up. And so I looked at Gunny and I was like, it's on you. You're the senior Marine here. It's on you. And he's like, really? Yep, it's all on you. So,
man.
We've had a blast until he just now, a couple of months ago, left and went to Pendleton. So, he was a really good guy. We've gotten 3 other members from the post because of him.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So I figure I'm going to keep messing with everybody, keep talking them, keep going over, talking, trying to push, the Marine Corps League, get them to accept what's going on. We just changed out the colonel, and we've got a new sergeant major coming in October. So
okay. And where is that at exactly? What base are they on?
This is Fort Sill.
Fort Sill. Okay. Got you. Yeah.
It's what we always call Mardet, Marine Detachment. But they've got some other Marine artillery.
Yeah, I was going to say that's artillery training out there at Fort Sill.
Yes.
Yeah. Very nice.
And my daughter asked me once, why are there Marines here? And I'm like, the Marines travel every base they can to get training. They don't have set training areas set up in their own areas.
Yeah.
They use the other branches. Why should they rewrite or rebuild the wheel when other groups have already got it?
Very true.
that's what we looked at. That's what we do. That's why Mardet is down here. But it's just one of those fun things,
Yeah.
You work with all of them. Now, if we could be around a post, that would even be better to me because I could visit all the different commands and things of that nature,
right,
and get them involved. But when you're only have a small detachment,
mm-hmm.
then it makes it difficult to try and bring members out.
Yeah.
Now we're going to try and change things up and make our meeting in the middle of the week, like on a Thursday. So
okay.
It's not on the weekend because our meetings right now take place on the weekends. And these guys, instructors and station, they don't want to come out, leave their family on a weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense.
They don't want to give up their free time, but if you do it of an evening and have it where they might be able to get something to eat at the same time, now you might draw more people in.
Very true. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Wow. Well, and I don't know. I'm fairly new to everything, but it seems like the Oklahoma is, the department's doing pretty good.
We're doing fair. In fact, we have a department picnic coming up October 11th to try and bring everybody together. Just getting the word out to everybody. And unfortunately, I can't travel as well as I used to. So it makes it difficult for me to get out to some of these detachments that are 3.5, 4 hours away from me.
Yeah.
And so where I started out getting out to them, now then I've got to restrict myself back to where I'm not going that far.
Right. Yeah.
Trying to get word out. We've developed a new news page that we send out monthly, a newsletter that we send out monthly at the department level.
Right.
And have all the detachment information on there for each one of the detachments, what they're doing, what we're trying to accomplish. We have the Marine Corps ball coming up in Tulsa, which is a state, we're helping Tulsa out as well as the units that are around there to help out having a really good Marine Corps ball. We're trying to get the governor. We know there's a couple of mayors that are going to be there, but we're trying to get the governor as well.
That'd be awesome.
So, yes.
Now, do you know who the guest of honor is going to be for that?
I did. Don't ask me that right now.
Okay. We won't ask that.
I did know. I am not sure anymore.
Okay.
And I don't have my phone close by to look it up. So
nah, it's all good. No problem. I was just asking the questions.
But they can go to our Facebook page and see that. That is on our Facebook page for the department. It's also on the Facebook page for Schwab Detachment. Just about all detachments have it up on their Facebook page somewhere along with whatever they're doing.
Right.
So
very nice. Well, shoot. Anything else you wanted to talk about?
No, I will say this much. I've enjoyed the Marine Corps League. I've enjoyed serving. Last year was my first time to present the Malamute sword to the honor man up there in OU for the Marines.
Oh, wow.
That was a really great thing for me. And then also got to meet Sergeant Major Black. He was there at the same time.
Very cool.
So I look forward to doing that again. Now what I'll be looking at is I'm not so sure I want to go to all these birthday balls after this year.
Yeah.
I looked at it and I figure I've got 4 different birthday balls to go to this year.
Yeah, you'll be working it this year.
Yes. I went to 4 last year. So
oh, did you?
I will be, and I have the one. We have the one that is up there in Tulsa. We have one that is on post. We have the Marine Council breakfast or birthday. And then we also have the Veterans Home birthday.
Okay.
So I wouldn't mind just getting down to 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Mardet and the Veterans.
Uh-huh.
I don't have to travel then. I'm close by.
Yeah, that would definitely make things a little easier for sure.
Yes. But that is one thing I will say is Oklahoma is, if I'm not mistaken, there are 12 different birthday balls across the state going down in November. Anywhere from the 5th or 1st of November all the way through the 10th of November.
Wow.
So
that's awesome.
We have a host of them that are going to be going on.
Yeah.
We do believe in the Marines.
And this is a big year, 250.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. And we have fun with it.
Yeah, as it should be.
Yes.
Well, as we approach the end of a podcast, I always do these rapid fire questions. You ready to answer some rapid fire questions?
Sure. I just don't guarantee it's going to come back to you.
What is your proudest military moment?
Proudest would be graduating Marine Corps boot camp.
Nice. Okay. I like it. What is your most embarrassing military moment?
Shoot. Playing flag football, stationed in Lemoore, and they thought I had broke my leg because another guy had come in and clipped me. But he did it right on my shin bone.
Oof.
So I ended up going to the hospital, and they were going to send me up to Alameda. Well, that's the same night the major earthquake hit.
Oh, geez.
And I'm like, yeah, no, that ain't going to happen. Give me a shot and let's figure this out. They gave me a pill. Then the next thing they did was give me a shot about a half hour later. And I don't remember nothing from the rest of the night.
Wow.
But I ended up waking up in bed, my own bed, the next morning. So I don't know what they gave me, but my wife and a few friends had to get me home. So that would be enough. Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. Wow. All right. If you could be one military leader for a day, who would that be?
I would have to say Day. General Gray.
General Gray. That's a good one.
Yep.
Yeah. I like it. Okay. In the zombie apocalypse, what would be your weapon of choice and what anthem would be playing?
Oh, my goodness. Zombie apocalypse? Wow. Give me the M14. And what anthem? I'd still have to go with the Marine Corps hymn. Let me hear that while I'm firing the M14. I can shoot all day.
That's a good. I like that one. Yeah, that's a good one. All right. What animal best describes your time in service?
Wow. I've been called so many different names. It's not even funny. Let's just go with moose.
Moose. Okay. No one's ever said that one before. Oh, man. All right. Well, knowing what you know now, would you do it all over again?
In a heartbeat.
Nice.
In a heartbeat.
I love it. And then what words of wisdom do you have for our listeners?
Follow your heart, be true, and keep charging forward.
That's awesome. I like it. Well, hey, I appreciate you coming on. I don't know if you had fun, but I had fun. So Thanks for coming on and doing this. I know you were reluctant at first, but now that you've done it, how do you feel?
Oh, it's been fun. I've enjoyed it. I still don't like talking about myself, but it's been fun.
You did a fine job talking about yourself. I got to be honest with you. Well, I always close these out talking about veteran suicide and ways that they can get help. So I'll do that again. To all the listeners out there, if you're struggling, you need help, anything like that, don't forget the VA does have some great resources. You can always dial 988, press option 1. You can always text 838-255, or you can go to veteranscrisisline.net and click on the chat icon. Any of those options will put you in contact with somebody that can help you out. But remember, one veteran life lost is one too many. I care about you. I know this guy here cares about you. The whole veteran community cares about you. So please reach out for help. And if you're out there, you're not struggling, reach out to the buddies you served with, ask them how they're doing. And if they need that helping hand, please give it to them. All right. One last time, Dave, thanks. I appreciate it. To all the listeners out there, stay motivated, change your socks.
Thanks for tuning in to the Lost Art Project Veterans Voices podcast. Our mission? Simple. Preserve history, one veteran story at a time. If you'd like to support this work, consider making a donation or sponsoring an episode. Every contribution helps us capture and share more stories for future generations. You can learn more and give at thelostart.podbean.com or by clicking the link in the episode's description. Stay motivated, change your socks, and remember, every story matters.